Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is A&IDatsko, I'm a graphic designer and illustrator. And also I'm working with a partner on the game development. Last time we presented you a video in honor of the release of new game. I worried about how the audience would perceive it, as I streamed previously, but haven't worked on a full-fledged systematic videos before. Writing a diploma work for 80 sheets turned out to be much easier for me than the text for a 4-minute video. It was a very cool experience. There is also a way to grow and I will try to make next videos better. We received a large number of comments, constructive criticism, as well as questions about the game. The reviews were very warm. Thank you guys, I really appreciate that. When we read your comments, we mentally send you hearts. This helped to look at the game from a different angle and rethink many points. Therefore, in honor of the New Year holidays, we decided to make a thematic update to the game Shaky Tower. The questions were different. Some of them cover a lot of information and I would like to make separate videos for them. And I will start with how was my acquaintance with games began and how I came into game dev. As a child, I was very fond of drawing, as well as doing crafts from natural materials. I painted on everything, from books that I feel sorry now to the walls. By the way, the wall was specially allocated to me before the repair, and it was allowed me to paint everything I want. I painted a girl with flowers on the wall, which took for 2 or 3 days, I don't remember exactly, but it was interesting and pleasant. Also, I was very interested in computer games, and sometimes even too much. Through what I received a password with a huge quest, like solve math task and get a password. So my tasks were inventive. But I also was artful. I spied on approximate numbers, made a few tasks, and then a hacker woke up in me. Many of you will probably remember the nights and days at the computer or set-top box, especially when the first device appeared, and you had the opportunity to play in popular games. It seems to me that most went through this. The main thing is to know the measure and don't overdo it. I also competed with my friends who will pass this or that game faster. Then it was very exciting. My first games were Heroes of Might and Magic, Sinbad, Shrek, and of course The Sims. But then I didn't imagine what it would all turn into. But at the first place at that moment it still was Heroes of Might and Magic. I really enjoyed playing as magicians with magic castles and dragons. The favorites were an underground castle, an elven village, a swamp and jeans. But for the dungeon I played most of the games. They were so awesome units. With this game I have a lot of memories and a lot of stories, however the video isn't rubber, so let's move on. At the time I went to art school. It lasted about 3 years. The first year were courses in which I collected a large folder with the works, according to which I was further investigated in class. I don't remember exactly how many there were, but after that I went there for another 2 years. The first year I remember the best. After all, I had 2 very good teachers. They were well talented and helped to deal with many questions. The next 2 years are difficult to characterize, as I sometimes missed classes. Sometimes because I was tired after the main school, and sometimes I just didn't want to go, because we often sat alone in the office. Of course, teachers came to us periodically and explained what to do, but this was not as interesting as in first year. We also had an art summer camp, and this period is also full of warm memories. We got up very early to go draw sketches of sunshine, we painted the sea, painted each other. Also we went to the mountains, and I will never forget my first trip. It was a really big adventure. Thanks a lot to the teachers for showing us all that beauty. If we return to the topic of games, at that time I spent many hours mainly in online games. But over time I got tired of them. Because when updates came out, I had to change almost all armors and also needed to farm. Therefore, I returned to offline projects. At that time my favorites were Skyrim and Oblivion. Also at the time I could only watch videos of them. I remember turning on recordings at the evenings and listening of them like fairy tales. Yeah, that is how it was. Just then I found out about the streamer, which I watch into this day. I just enjoyed watching his adventures and funny moments. Oh, this full of adventure gaming days. Later, I spent a lot of time in these games by myself. I went through Skyrim completely. I didn't even know what to do next. Maybe someday I will have time for it, but it's not for sure. After finished school, I entered the Institute of Arts for graphic design. There were many stories, there were many works. But one thing I can tell you for sure, I don't regret a single drop. Since they taught me a lot of there. Composition, color, understanding, vision. I know what sleepless nights are, a session, and checking percentage of work. I tried to work with different materials, and in each I found something unique and close to me. It all depends on your choice. If you want to learn, you will learn. Not only the teacher taught us, we also studied ourselves. We helped each other to deal with questions, told each other how to do better and why, even criticized each other. We understood what needs to be changed or added, even if sometimes it was a bit offensive, and it seems that work was ready, because we worked on it so long. It was necessary. Many of us went to freelance at that period. This is also an experience that has helped a lot. Work with clients, quickly assign tasks, time frames, etc. Ideally, combine studying and work. However, it all depends on you. It is everyone's choice to go to courses or go to university. Everyone's life is different and the path is too. You mustn't follow someone's plan. You need to think through your plan. For what and why you need this or that action. It all depends on you. While studying at university, I started to stream, and that I met a lot of cool and talented guys. If you are watching the video now, hi guys! During this period, I played more in League of Legends, Rules of Survivals, Left 4 Dead, Smite, Dragon Age and Divinity with friends. These games were very time-saving, but it was also a lot of fun. Thank you guys for warm gaming evenings. During the studying, I worked on different techniques that I wanted to use in my project. I have a folder with the different works. So if you are interested to see them, write me in the comments, and I will think about how to organize such video, or I will make different posts on Instagram or on Behance. At the end of my studies, my main graduation works were illustrated books Mowgli and Room and the Broom in the paper tunnel style, which by the way helped me a lot in the future with game development. Since in fact that all layers and figures were separate cutted like the layers we used to create the parallax effect in the game. And also I started working on the game X. This game was the first project that we developed with a programmer. By the way, when I worked on books, no one took this technique for the graduation works before me. Why so? There are many options. Perhaps from the amount of time spent on it, till a tedious work over time. Hard to say. But I'm very grateful to the teacher who showed me the technique and helped to figure out a lot of nuances. From understanding the design of layers and techniques to setting the light for a photo, since in the future all layers were photographed. If it will be interesting to you, I will show you the result. The students had different works, however no one chose developed a full-fledged level game. Only a few students from previous group worked on applications and some on visual novels. And given that, there wasn't much time, so it was risky. Every month we had check-in period. This is a phased verification of work. If the student couldn't manage time and work, he couldn't be allowed to the diploma examination. Therefore, all students worked hard. At that time, I was faced with many questions and tasks. I was looking for a long time for answers and solutions. Then I first worked on character animation, creating sprites, preparing files correctly, etc. There were a lot of file experiments and trial solutions. There were a lot of expectations and reality. But more on that in the following videos. We are working on improving the Project X, so for now this is a little secret. At that moment we are working on several more projects, including the Shaky Tower. If you have any questions that interested you, write me, we will be happy to answer you. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, leave your comments and suggestions. Thank you for attention, bye bye!